Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion. I really do appreciate it. And in this episode, we are doing another box office breakdown. We are running the numbers with the box office. And this is Sunday, so this is the estimated numbers when these numbers are released. It's usually 97, 98, 99% accurate. Actual numbers will come out tomorrow, Monday, but since it's so close, we're just going to go ahead and run with it. And as far as new releases are concerned, we have John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, A Dog's Journey. The Sun is also a star. We have 3 new releases. I have seen 1 out of the 3. You can go check out my John Wick review. I thought the film was great. But which one of these films made it in the top 5? Let's go ahead and look at the top 5. And John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum is coming through at number 1, knocking Avengers Endgame off of its number 1 box office reign. John Wick is coming through with $57 million, $57,025,000. Right now, it is in 3,850 theaters. It has a per theater average of 14,812, and it is in its first week of release. Now, the production budget for John Wick 3 was $55 million, and right now worldwide it's already grossing $149 million worldwide. So that's just fantastic. If you want to look at the series of John Wick, the first film, which came out a few years ago, that production budget was $20 million. Okay, and it ended up making worldwide $88.8 million. John Wick Chapter 2 had a production budget of $40 million, and it ended up making worldwide $171 million. And now we have John Wick Chapter 3, in my opinion, the best out of the series. Now that I think about it, I need to go see it again. That production budget was $55 million, and so it is already, well, it's not, I mean, it's already, it's going to be in profit land. You know, the rule of 3, you know, we take the production budget, multiply that by 3, and that's how you know if the studio made a respective profit. So if you take 55 times 3, that comes to 165. Right now, John Wick 3 is at $149 million worldwide. So it's going to be well into profit land in the middle of the week. And so John Wick is just doing great. As far as all the release schedules around the world, it is open in every territory except for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it is 9 territories that it hasn't opened in. So this film has potential to make $250, maybe $300 million worldwide at the box office. And I think that's just phenomenal. It has a cinema score of A-, which is pretty decent. It's pretty good, pretty decent. And right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it is certified fresh at 89%. With around 214 reviews counted. So John Wick is just doing a fantastic job. The director is Chad Stahelski. He has directed all 3 films, and so everybody over at Lionsgate at Summit Entertainment, they can just, you know, be popping bottles and having fun and getting bonuses and things like that. And this is a good win for Lionsgate, for Summit, because they haven't had such a large opening like this since like the Hunger Games, and also, Tyler Perry comes from there as well, but they're steady. They don't have just huge openings, but the Hunger Games and just a few other of those young adult novel adaptations or whatever. So John Wick is doing just fine at the box office right now in this first weekend of release. Going back to the top 5, coming in at number 2 is Avengers Endgame. It brought in another $29.4 million. It had a 53.5% drop. Right now, it is in 4,220 theaters. It was in 4,662, and it lost 442 theaters. And this past weekend, the theater average was 6,969. It is in its 4th week of release. So right now, it is looking at a domestic total of $770.8 million. And so right now, that is the biggest. Well, it was already the biggest film domestically in 2019, but it has surpassed Avatar at the box office as far as domestic is concerned. Avatar is at $760 million domestically, and right now Endgame is at $770. But if you look at the domestic chart all time, Star Wars: The Force Awakens is still number one at $936 million. So it's not gonna catch that. It's not gonna catch that at all. Now, if you look at the all-time domestic, if you adjust for inflation, let me zoom out just a little bit to make sure you can see this. Avengers Endgame is coming in at number 23. Of course, at the $770 million. Right before that, you have The Graduate, Raiders of the Lost Ark. But if you look all the way up to number 15, that's where you'll see Avatar. I'm hoping, just for a record-breaking sake, I hope that it does catch that. So it has quite a while to go, $107 million. It may not get there. I think Avengers Endgame is going to make around $850 million domestically. I'll tell you where I get that number in just a second. But just look at this chart right here. You still see, Gone with the Wind way up there. And this adjusted for inflation. If you don't know what that means, what this means is if at all times movie ticket prices were the price that they are today, these are what these films would have made. So if you look at Gone with the Wind, $1.8 billion domestically, it came out in 1939. So if in 1939, if those ticket prices then were the amount that they are today in 2019, it would have made $1.8 billion. And so Avengers Endgame is coming in at number 23 for the domestic of all time when you adjust for inflation. Going back to Avengers Endgame, right now it is international has brought in $1.8 billion international. And so it's looking at a worldwide total of $2.6 billion, $2,614,805,870. So real quick, if you look at the all-time worldwide, of course, Avatar is up there, 2.7 billion. There aren't too many other films that have a large international release either, except for Avatar. Avatar's international release is $2 billion. Avengers Endgame is at 1.8. So Avengers Endgame is beating Avatar domestically, but it's not beating it internationally. That's quite a ways away. But if you want to know the exact figure of how much Endgame is away from Avatar worldwide total, it's $173 million. $173,159,217 million. Now, still just focus on the Avengers Endgame real quick. I want to show you the weekend and the day to day. As far as this film going against like Star Wars and Infinity War and other Star Wars films, you see, if you're looking at the chart right now, you see, of course, Avengers Endgame won opening weekend 357, a big, large behemoth gap. It won number two. Well, I mean, it won number one. If you want to compare this film to Avengers Infinity War, it won a weekend two. It won weekend three at 63 million compared to Infinity War 62 million. But if you look at the fourth weekend, Avengers had $29 million, $29.41 million, while Infinity War had $29.45 million. So what did I get that I think Avengers Endgame will make $850 million domestically? Well, now let's look at the day-to-day. And now I'm going to change this to the numbers. So if you're looking at the chart right now, if you look over to the left, you'll see, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, all the, what this number means is the number of day of release for this film. Now, if you look at the left, Avengers Endgame is the film in the dead middle. Okay. And if you look over to day 18, Avengers Endgame was beating Avengers Infinity War each day. But on the 19th day, Avengers Endgame started losing. You see, Infinity War has a day total on the 19th day of $6 million, while Endgame has 5.7. 20th day, Infinity War has 4.1, while Endgame has 3.7. 21st day, you can see. So what I did was I took the total domestically for Avengers Infinity War, which is 678, and then I subtracted what it is right now at 595 domestically for Infinity War, and I got $83 million. So if you take $83 million and you add that to what Endgame has already made right now domestically, which is $770 million. So $770 million plus 83, That comes to 853. So if Avengers Endgame stays on pace with Avengers Infinity War, it is going to make around $850 million. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, Brandon, I don't think you can add 83 million to that. Maybe 70, 75, because Endgame is losing. It would be different if it was winning day to day at day 19, but it's losing right now. And, you know, it may just be few $1,000s here and there, but that's going to add up over the whole theatrical run. Yes, you are correct. You are correct in that analysis and that assessment. However, we are going to get Spider-Man Far From Home releasing in July. So that little bump, I think, will make up the difference. So, I mean, it may be about $845 million domestically, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick with $850 million domestically. We're just going to have to see. But at the same time, I'm not sure that the release of Spider-Man Far From Home will give it that big of a significant boost, because it doesn't work the way with Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is a solo film going into Avengers. See, everybody that sees Spider-Man Far From Home in theaters would have saw Avengers Endgame. There's nobody that's going to go see Spider-Man that hasn't seen Endgame. However, there are a lot of people that will want to go see Endgame that will not go see the Spider-Man film. Like my brother goes to see all Iron Man films and all Avengers films. Every other MCU franchise or film he doesn't care about. He's probably not going to go see Spider-Man Far From Home. And he does, you know, people like that do represent a certain percentage of the box office sales. But I still think that Avengers Endgame will make around $850 million. And that is why. Coming in at number 3 on the top 5 is the Pokemon Detective Pikachu. It is in its second week of release. It brought in another $24.8 million. It had a drop of 54.4%. Right now, it is in 4,248 theaters. It went up 46 theaters. I don't know how that happened. I don't know, but it did. It gained 46 theaters. Per theater average is 5,842. Right now, its total domestic gross is $94 million with a production budget of $150 million. And Warner Brothers, I don't know, maybe y'all spend too much money. Maybe y'all should have, I don't know, because y'all need to make around $450 million worldwide. And you got a while to go. Yeah, you got $250 million to go. Detective Pikachu, I'm not gonna go over the cinema score, it's not open the weekend. Let me see. I think it's open everywhere. The only places it hasn't opened is South Africa, Poland, May 31st, Romania, June 7th, Greece, Saudi Arabia, June the 13th, and Madagascar, July 31st. I am not sure those are large enough territories to make a difference, but, you know, hey. But, I mean, I thought the film was fine. My review is on the channel. You can go check that out. But it's coming in at number 3 at $24 million. And right now, it's at a worldwide total of $206 million. Coming in at number 4 is the new release, A Dog's Journey. This film right here is part of a series as well. I have not seen the film. It has made $8 million. I don't have a production budget for you, but right now it's at a worldwide total of $23 million. Now, A Dog's Purpose, which I believe is the prequel to this film, the production budget was $22 million. So I feel that the budget was at least that. I don't think they will go down. But A Dog's Journey is coming in at number 4, bringing in $8 million. And coming in at number 5 to wrap out the top 5 is The Hustle with Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway, bringing in another $6 million. It is in 3,077 theaters, went up 70 theaters, per theater average $1,900. It is in its second week of release. And so that tops out the top 5. Now, if we want to look at the domestic right now for 2019, really hasn't changed much. Avengers Endgame is at the top, $770 million. Captain Marvel is number 2 at $425. And Us is number 3 at $174. Right now. And if you want to look at the worldwide for 2019, Avengers Endgame is way up there at $2.6 billion. Nothing is going to be catching it this year. Only thing that could catch that film is Star Wars Episode 9, and the only way it will catch it is if everybody's running out of the theater. Oh my gosh, this is the best Star Wars movie ever. It's better than the prequels. It's better than Rogue One. It's better than A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, that way I literally have to come out like that. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's the only thing that would be catching that. The Wandering Earth is number 3. A Chinese blockbuster is $699 million. I have seen the film, and you can too, because it's on Netflix, and I shot my review for it, and I'll be uploading that later tonight or tomorrow. But The Wandering Earth is on there as well at number 3 at the top at the box office. All right, so another thing that I want to look at real quick is the MCU itself. Okay, so right now, Avengers Endgame, of course, it passed Black Panther last week. Domestically, Avengers Endgame is at the top, 770 million. Captain Marvel is number 6 right there. And if you look at worldwide for MCU, of course, Avengers Endgame is at 2.6 billion. Infinity War, 2 billion. Avengers Endgame, 1.5. Ultron, 1.4. So that is the worldwide for the MCU. And last but not least, guys, let's just go ahead and look at the rest of the top 10. The Intruder is coming in, bringing in at number 6, bringing in another $4 million. Long Shot is a box office flop. It's brought in another $3 million, $3.4 million. The budget for this film was $40 million. And so it has a worldwide total right now of $32 million. If the production budget is $40 million, it needs to make at least $120 million. And I don't think I explained it earlier. The rule of 3, if you don't know, you have to take the production budget and multiply that by 3. So Long Shot, for example, $40 million budget, it needs to make 120 for the studios to make a respectable profit. Well, why is that, Brandon? Why does it need to make 3 times the budget? Well, if you take 120 million and then at least 33%, a third of the box office sales goes to the theater/theater owners. So if it made 120 million, at least 39.6, $40 million will go to the theater/theater owners. So 120 minus 40, you have $80 million left over. And then you subtract the production budget of 40 million, you have $40 million left over. Unless and then you have the marketing budget. We don't know what the marketing budget usually is, but there is a cost. And please, someone once said to me, Brandon, if you don't know what the marketing budget is, then it doesn't count. It doesn't exist. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And I say that with no exaggeration. It's just kind of like saying, hey, let's go drive around the country and I want you to help me with gas. And you come back and be like, well, hey, if you don't know the exact dollar amount we're going to spend on gas, then we don't have to pay attention to that cost. That's just stupid. You may not know the exact dollar amount you have to spend on gas, but you know it's a cost you have to account for. And so these are just some of the conversations that I get in my comment section. Coming in at number 8 is The Sun is also a star, $2.6 million. It had a production budget of $9 million. And so it's not doing too hot right now at the box office. Coming in at number 9 is Palms at bringing in $2 million. And Ugly Dolls is at $10 million. Not 10 million. Ugly Dolls brought in $1.6 million. Now, there's other films that I care about. Captain Marvel is not in the top 10 anymore, of course. It doesn't matter since its 11th week of release. It made all of its money. Shazam is a success as well. It's at $360 million. So that's a success. What other films do I personally care about? Dumbo is a flop. Little, it looks like it's not profiting. Looks like it's breaking even. The budget was $20 million. It's only made $47 million worldwide. So it needed to make at least $60 million. For the studios to be like, hey, we're proud of this film. It didn't do bad, but it didn't do good. It did all right. We got a little something. But yeah, it's not doing good, and it's not. Actually, let me pump my brakes. It opens in Belgium. It has a few more territories to open in. Belgium, June 12th. Spain, June 14th. France, June 19th. And Italy, July 18th. And Russia, August the 8th. So it could bring in another 13 million. So let me pump my brakes. If you know anybody in those countries, guys, go ahead and hit them up on their Skype, their DMs. Call them, text them like, hey, man, you know, you're a fan of Little and Marseille Martin and all them people, go see this film over there. Oh, for real, the American movie? No, I'm just being silly, guys. But guys, that is just my opinion for the box office rundown, the box office breakdown. What did you think about all of my numbers? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Have I turned you on? Have I turned you off? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. And if you don't, that's fine. You can still subscribe to my channel. Also, look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all that good stuff. It's right there at the bottom of your screen, and I made it very easy by providing a link to all that down in the description box below. But guys, I just want to thank you again for tuning in to my opinion/review/reaction for these box office numbers of John Wick versus Avengers Endgame. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.